Captain Ben Collins is an Army Special Forces veteran and Green Beret who served 3 tours of duty in Afghanistan. Thanks for being here in studio today.
Thank you very much, Gretchen.
So the administration calls Yemen a success story. They've continued to call it a success story, even though we've seen now a second president having to flee the country. Now we have Saudi Arabia, one of our allies, helping us out there. But what does this all mean for that entire region?
Well, to me, there's a strategic and there's a tactical question here, right? But I think that one really needs to look at the geopolitical realities of the terrain, right? So all the Gulf producers of the oil in that region actually have to go right by the Yemeni coastline and go through the Gulf of Aden to get to the Suez Canal, right? And the Suez Canal then is what can branch off into Europe. So besides just the reality of the oil revenues and really the market driving reasons why they did that, we all know that Iran has supported the Houthi rebels, and I think for that, at least that Sunni conglomerate, the dominating force there, actually having a Shiite and Iranian-backed country right on their borders for them is just is untenable.
So it's interesting because, okay, the Houthis are being supported by Iran, but on the other hand, in other regions of the world, we're actually fighting against them in a different way. So it seems like we're playing both sides of the equation, and by the way, we're trying to do a nuke deal with them as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what this really, what this boils down to at the end of the day is this nuclear deal, right? So I mean, I think the president has shown that he's willing to sacrifice, just about anything to ensure a deal, right? And I think whether or not one of substance, I think, is to be debated. I think my overall concern there is that they're certainly signaling that they're not going to put any deal past Congress for approval first. But look, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I think over the last 60 years, we've spent something like $300 billion in that region. And where are we at this stage, right?
It's a great question. All right, I want to move now to this because Sergeant Bo Bergdahl facing military charges, including desertion, for abandoning his post in Afghanistan. Well, some who served with him in Afghanistan say he deserves the maximum penalty.
There is no honor in his service, especially when you leave your battle buddies and brothers in arms behind and join the enemy. I don't see how there's any honor in that.
All right, so what do you make of all this?
Well, look, I think if you join the Army, you know what you're getting yourself into, right? Certainly, and certainly he did. I mean, you're going to war. I was of a generation that went into the Army active duty at least in 2000, so we kind of walked, into it. But look, if you're going to have second guesses about what you're doing over there, you certainly don't go. The second he got on that C-17 to fly over there, he essentially was committing, all the way, and it's a cardinal rule, right? The second you get there, everything is about the guys on your left and your right.
And people died trying to get him free.
They did. So, look, if I may, I was going to, Private First Class Morris Walker, Staff Sergeant Clayton Bowen, Staff Sergeant Kurt Curtis, Second Lieutenant Darren Andrews, Private First Class Matthew Martinick, and Staff Sergeant Michael Murphy. The reality is when he went missing, it changed the entire mission profile, right? As it should. I mean, an American serviceman goes missing, everything turns on a dime and we change our mission profile. And so, I think when you have at least six soldiers that lost their lives due to that, he should, I think, look, it's my belief he broke his oath, he broke the cardinal rule, and he should pay the full price, either life imprisonment or the death penalty. You could not break more of it breaks the heart of somebody that served on the left and right.
Yep. All right, Captain Collins, great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Time for my take.